Welcome back, everybody, to Prime Tactics Sports. We're in Week 13 of the NFL. NFL playoffs are looming. You got a bunch of people fighting for that all-four crucial one seed in the NFC and AFC. Slater, it's been fantastic. What's going on in the sports world you want to talk about? What's going on, my brother?
Well, I just want to rewind to Week 6, I believe it was, and that was my take on the New England Patriots. They're sitting at 2-4, not looking too good, but like I said, they were competing really late against these good teams like the Dallas Cowboys, the Buccaneers, and we showed resiliency, and we showed that we can come back from a deficit, and we can now but we were missing those splash plays, and I feel like we've been making a ton of splash plays lately. That's why we're on a 6-game win streak. Just beat the number 1 seed in the AFC and the Tennessee Titans. Now we're sitting at number 2. And I mean, we'll get into what we got going on next week a little bit later because it's a part of what we're going to talk about. But I mean, it's looking good so far, and I'm really excited to see what our Patriots can do this year.
Yeah, you really knocked it on the head. You ballsed up. You said, hey, if they don't make it, I'll do what you guys want me to do, whether it's a joke or prank, something like that. And right now, they're looking pretty damn good, positioning themselves right. This is that Week 13 we've been talking about for a long time, too. You said the Bills are past is going to determine who's going to be running the East in the AFC. So I guess a good question for me is, do I trust Patriots defense next week, regardless of the matchups? They're just a set in and forget it. Even against the Bills. I
think you got to play the Patriots defense no matter what. Even if they play,
even
if they allow a lot of points, I still feel like they'll get turnovers and still make a couple plays. It's very risky because it's Josh Allen and the Bills, a high-powered offense. The Bills are a great team.
Right.
But yeah, I think you got to play them. I think you got to.
Set and forget it.
And this could be who runs not just the AFC East, but the AFC.
It really is. This could be a critical week. Well, let's start off with Week 13 with some just kind of takes and notes. Notes around the league. Taysom Hill's been taking the first team reps today. Trevor Siemian's been 0-4 since he took over for Jameis Winston. Hasn't been looking too good. He's a little over 50% completion percentage, and Taysom Hill just got paid again. And the reason why they weren't using him is beyond me. I don't know, but it looks like this is the week they're like, all right, this is what we got to do to get us hopefully a playoff push. You see the team just kind of. Ingram's been hurt, Alvin's been hurt. They had a really bad showing on Thanksgiving. So we'll see what's going on with the Saints. Another note is Ezekiel Elliott might be rested for the remainder of the season. The rest of those really bad knees has been lingering with him since week 4 of the NFL this season. Tony Pollard looking like a smart play right now. Younger, flashier, got more to prove. We saw it on Thursday afternoon on Thanksgiving against the Raiders, a huge kick return. Another note too, Dalvin Cook bumped his shoulder. It said he could miss around 2 to 3 weeks. We don't know. So if you have Alexander Madison and you kept him for this long, good for you. One more final note. Christian McCaffrey, sucks to say, another year, another fantasy disappointment. He's going to go on the reserve for the second time, causing an end to his season.
Yeah, man, I don't know. It's tough because that guy is so good. Even when he's banged up and he's still out there playing, he still balls out. So I mean, I just hope that he can get healthy in the off season. Take as much time as he needs. The guy's got all the respect in the world from all the players in the league. He's one of the best, if not arguably the best player in the NFL. So hope he gets better, and I hope next year we can see him play a full season and just have him be healthy in general.
Yeah, we have some positive notes now too. Antonio Brown's looking to return this week 13. We still have no idea what's going on with him with his vaccination card, but that's not about football. We're talking about his injuries. Bruce Arians says they're eyeing this week for his return. He's been posting on social media like crazy of him working out, saying comeback season soon. We'll have to see. Shane's been saying he's going to be out for the rest of the season, but we know how big of a jinx he is. Antonio Brown.
Oh, yeah.
We know how big of a jinx he is. So we'll have to see how that's going. Another positive note too. The Cardinals are hoping to get Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins back from injury. They kind of stumbled into their bye week like they did last year, but they're hoping to get them back. So, that was a lot. Let's go on to Week 13, Thursday Night Football. I just kind of was shocked that both these teams just played on Thanksgiving. They have a short turnaround. They got the Saints and Cowboys. Cowboys are going to New Orleans. Who do you got for this one?
I got the Cowboys all day.
Really? Okay.
Depending. It depends on if Kamara and Ingram are healthy. I think they might be healthy, to be honest, because Ingram was close to playing, and Kamara, I think he was. I don't know if he played a limited practice at least once last week, but let's see. I think it'll be a lot interesting if Kamara and Ingram are in, but if they're not, I'm taking Dallas all day.
They're going to need them. Cowboys came off another ugly loss on Thanksgiving. I feel like they haven't won a couple Thanksgiving games in years.
If Kamara and Ingram are in, then I'll take the Saints. But if they're not in, then I'm taking the Cowboys.
Yeah, it's kind of, that could be said for anyone else in the world that thinks that. I'm gonna take the Dallas Cowboys regardless of who's in at running back and quarterback for the Saints. Go Dallas.
Yeah, see, just like you, it's different.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, obviously if Ingram and Kamara are out, like, obviously the Cowboys are a huge favorite. But if they're in, then you're gonna take them. But I'm not gonna take them regardless.
Yeah, well, they got no QB.
Never gonna see. All right, next we got an AFC shootout in the South. We got the Colts going to the Texans. Texans kind of been a little, sneaky defense this year. Colts, we saw them give a really good show against the Bucs. They almost had them, but they didn't stop Fournette. That just shows how much depth that team has. You shut Tom Brady down, you still got a great running game. Who do you got?
I got the Colts.
I'm taking the Colts as well. Easy. Next, we got the Vikings. Like we just said, Dalvin Cook is out for the foreseeable future, taking on the Lions. They almost had it again on Thanksgiving. They have no wins. They have one tie, a lot of losses. Lions were the worst rush defense we saw Madison did last time, a couple weeks, or early on in the season. He shredded them. I'm going the Vikings on this one.
You know what?
Uh-oh.
The Detroit Lions will take this one. They're going to get their first one of the year right here, I'm telling you.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You're gonna see Justin Jefferson looking at Kirk, giving him that yell and that look. Yeah. That every time, bro. I mean, he does that so much. I've seen so many videos of him doing it. He's like, "Come on, Kirk, throw the damn."
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna see a lot of that this game, but yeah, I'm taking the Lions to get their first one, just something Vikings would do.
They've had a lot of weird close games. Next, Giants and Dolphins. Giants had a good division win against the Eagles, shutting out Jalen Hurts. They got a little lucky with those Ragnarok drops, but it looks like, they're looking okay. So, Giants versus Dolphins, who you got?
I'm taking the Dolphins.
Dolphins have a good defense as well. I'm going to take the Dolphins as well. Let's go to the next one. We got the Bucs facing the Falcons. Like I said, Bucs got a sneaky win last week against the Colts. Falcons, I don't know what the hell's even going on with them. This is easy, go Bucs, right?
Yep. Buccaneers all day.
Eagles and Jets. Eagles hoping for a bounce back win. They were kind of in the fighting for the NFC East, but a loss obviously put them back. I'm going the Eagles.
Me too.
All right, green so far. Here's a fun one: the Bears versus the Cardinals. This is going to be in Chicago.
I'm gonna take the Arizona Cardinals.
Okay, me too. Next, here's another fun one. This is the last one of the morning ones: Chargers versus Bengals.
Man, this is tough because the Bengals have such an
in Ohio
offense. Yeah, offense is explosive, and then they got freaking T. Higgins, who just finally showed out last week. I mean, they finally gave him some high-value targets. This is big game for the Chargers right here. This is to keep them in that wild card contention. I'm gonna take the Chargers on the road.
I think the Chargers, they had a really ugly loss.
Wait, what am I thinking? Chargers in a must-win game? I'm taking the Bengals.
Yeah. All right, I'll take the Chargers. You got to bounce back. Yeah, it's always a must-win game, right? All right. Well, that's gonna do it for the morning games. Looks like you got a good slate of afternoon games and a Monday Night Football. We'll tune right back into it in a sec. All right. So there's a clear slate of what we agreed on besides the Chargers versus Bengals for the morning games. You took the Bengals because the Chargers are in a must-win situation. Other than that, it looks like we agreed on every single one, which rarely happens doing us. But it is what it is. These matchups are all kind of weird. The whole NFL's been weird this season, especially last week. A lot of weird scoring teams. But let's go to the afternoon games. Here's the game of the week: the Jags versus the Rams.
Jags versus Rams.
Rams lost on against the Packers in Lambeau.
Yeah.
You gotta take the Rams taking back on this one, right? It's in LA, so far.
Oh yeah, or the Rams all day.
Yeah, you know that they're gonna have a field day with Trevor Lawrence at QB. So let's go to the next one. I think we're agreeing on most of these. Well, might be a couple. Washington versus the Raiders. Raiders having a big victory on Turkey Day.
I mean, depending on how Washington plays tonight, I think, if Gibson can get that run game going, I think Washington's a dangerous team because that dude, he's an explosive young running back, but he's been playing through a shin fracture all year. So I think you got to take LA, but I'm going to say if Gibson has over...
The Vegas.
Oh, yeah, Vegas, sorry. I'm going to have to take Washington if Gibson tonight runs for over 120 yards and 2 tutties. I'm going to have to go.
That's a huge ask.
Hey, I need it for fantasy, so I'm putting it out
All
there.
right, I wouldn't be surprised. Seattle's not that great against the run. I'm going to take the Raiders on this one. All right. Oh, here we go. This used to be, if not one of the greatest rivalries in NFL history. The Ravens versus the Steelers. This is going to be a good one. Big Ben looking like, I don't know why they don't pull him sometimes. But Ravens got an ugly win on Sunday Night Football against the Browns, even though Lamar had 4 INTs.
Yeah.
What do you got?
I got to roll with the Ravens. I mean, after the Steelers' performance last week and the way the Ravens have been playing this year, they've had a lot of really good games, and they've had a lot of kind of close games with some teams that, maybe shouldn't have been in there with them. But it's the NFL. They're still winning. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter if you win by 30 points. It doesn't matter if you win by 1 point. A win's a win. So I'm going to take the Ravens. They know how to win.
I'm going to take the Steelers just for a little upset alert so we don't agree on everything. Go Steelers. All right, next is another division rivalry. 49ers and Seahawks. Well, let's see the Seahawks play on Monday Night Football. 49ers, Elijah Mitchell, clear-cut number 1 running back, barring an injury. But the 49ers are kind of a good team to watch. They're fun.
I'm taking Seattle all day at home on this one.
I know it's at home. It's going to be, I don't even know the weather report. It feels like it's going to be a colder, maybe a little rainy game. Let's go 49ers. Let's go Jimmy Garoppolo and Elijah Mitchell. I need this win against Y next week anyways. Broncos and Chiefs. Hey, look, there's another little
That's a good one. That's a good one, but it's in Arrowhead, so I'm going to go Kansas City.
Yeah, that's a Sunday Night Football. All right, and then finally, Slater, you've been talking about this for months. The big divisional game. I didn't even know it was Monday night. The Patriots are going to Buffalo to play the Bills for their division. What is going? I know who you're taking. I'm just gonna go on a limb. I'll take the Bills, but I want to hear why. If you look at the bets and odds, it's probably the Bills are the favorite, hands down.
Yeah.
But let's hear what you think and why people should not sleep on the Pats.
Well, here's why people shouldn't sleep on the Pats is because, for one, we're first in our division. The Bills are behind us. Yeah, we haven't played yet, but also let's look at the Bills last couple of games now. They've won 1-2, lost 1 to the freaking Jaguar, or who they lose to, the Dolphins and stuff like that. Dolphins aren't a bad team.
That's the Jags.
Of
You're
the
right.
Jags, yeah.
You're right.
So I mean, and look who's the hottest team in the NFL right now. Who's the hottest team?
The Pats.
It's the Patriots. 6 in a row. They're putting up 30-plus points a game. Their defense is scoring 2 touchdowns a game. I mean, they just beat the number 1 seed in the AFC. They got a young, promising offense that can make plays. Kendrick Bourne, 2 touchdowns last week.
Woo.
Yeah, balling out. The defense, I mean, you don't even have to explain it. They're turning the ball over constantly. So I don't think you can sleep on a team that's either coached by Bill Belichick either, but people are telling me, yeah, I think the Bills are going to win. That's fair. Bills are, like I said, a top 5 or top 4, top 3 team this year in the NFL. They got an MVP candidate in Josh Allen. They were the number 2 seed last year, I believe, or the number 1 or 2 seed last year at 13-3. So they can ball. So I'm going to take the Pats. It's a no-brainer for me. It's my team. I've been riding high on them since they were even 2-4. I know what kind of football team we are. And I know that we can go on the road and beat a team like Buffalo, because if we're going to be a Super Bowl contender, which I mean, we're working towards that right now, you can beat any team anywhere. So, I mean, I think we're going to come out, we're going to compete hard. It's going to be a really close game, but the Patriots are going to sneak this one out.
I think for all those reasons, you never know. And this is the first time these two teams meet. They meet later on in the season, probably with the division on the line as well. I get both these teams, win or lose, they're going to be duking it out maybe for possibly that 1 seed, which is so crucial right now in the NFL, because that's the only team that gets a bye. And health is key. Going into the playoffs, availability is the best ability. Excuse me. So Slater, other than that, is there anything you want to keen on? Give anyone shout outs, anything like that before we wrap up? Week 13, that's so crazy. We're almost done.
Yeah, I mean, let me just say this. I'm really excited and looking forward to UFC 269 in Las Vegas, headlined by Charles do Bronx versus Dustin Poirier for the lightweight title, 155 pounds. I mean, we saw Dustin Poirier had 2 big wins over McGregor here this year, and Charles do Bronx, I mean, a guy you could say it's a journeyman, but I mean, the guy's been at the top of the heap for the past 10 years. He's finally in his prime, just won the belt in emphatic fashion. He's been finishing guys left and right, and there's not enough that can be said about Dustin Poirier. Probably the most seasoned guy in the lightweight division, if not one of the best in the UFC right now. Pound for pound, top 10. It's going to be a hell of a fight. It's going to be a hell of a night of fights too. And I mean, I think if you're a fight fan, you like watching fights, you got to watch this one.
Oh, I'll be tuning in, just like everyone else hopefully is. Well, Slater, you know what to do. Give us love. all our followers and friends, stay tuned for everything coming out. Primetime Action Sports. We're here for you while the playoffs are heating up. It's crazy. We're almost here, and we don't know who the clear-cut MVP is yet. It could be Jonathan Taylor. We don't know. It could be Tom Brady still. We don't know. But we'll have to see, and that's why we're here every week. But until next time, we out.
Roll up in the club and shit. All eyes on me. All eyes on me. You know what?